Hi everyone and welcome to my new video. This video is a demo for the additions that I will update my Particle Heaven Unity3D Assetstore package with, and they are all centered around fire. So I added a couple of new particle examples using the existing materials and textures that you find in the original package. So let's have a look. I created this rather boring looking room and added all the new particle effects that I came up with. Inspired definitely by movies like Backdraft that really use fire in a very cool way, and because it looks exciting, you can also see that stuff in a lot of games. So this is what it's all about. As you can see, there are different particle systems for different purposes. This is fire, flames leaking along a ceiling using horizontal billboard particle systems. Everything is based on the shuriken system, and I use deferred rendering because I want to use the soft particles function that prevents particles from intersecting with other geometry, which creates weird artifacts. Costs a bit of performance, but it's definitely worth it. And if you have to go with forward rendering, okay, you might see some weird overlapping with geometry, but usually it's not that bad. But deferred rendering soft particles looks way cooler, so that's why I use it. Now let's take a look at some of the examples here. I move the mouse around a lot, I know that, so I will try to get rid of that. This actually could be, I don't know, a gas leak on fire. Not so much a flamethrower, that would look different. And this looks more realistic than other particle systems in here. But as games can be either very realistic or cartoony, you always need different particle systems and particle shaders for that. Just like this one, this would be more one of the cartoony types. This consists actually of two particle systems, one for the sparks and one for the fire, and uses the fire material number 10, which looks more cartoony due to its texture. Now these three, the burning pillars, use the same material, but based on how the individual particle systems are set up, they look a lot different. They all use a shape emitter, but this one emits the particles from the base shell, so they start at the bottom and move up and dissipate. This one uses the volume shell emitter, so it looks more engulfed in flames and flames popping up all over the surface. And this one, my pride and joy, I have to admit, uses the base shell emitter as well, and based on the lifetime and the speed of the particles, they actually have a random value between 1 and 10 in both cases. That makes it look like the whole thing is engulfed in flames. And if you notice, timing is really important when it comes to particle systems. The one in the front here, this one, looks way smaller in scale because the particles move fast. The particles are a little bit larger. That's why it looks like a small scale burning object, like I don't know, a pillar in a room on fire or a smaller tree trunk. While this one, where the particles are moving a little bit slower, or at least they seem to, this could actually be, if you scale it up, a skyscraper engulfed in flames or a very large tree burning. So that timing is really important when it comes to set up convincing particle systems, and that's what the examples are for. I want anyone who doesn't really know how to use the particle system in Unity, the Shuriken, to get some examples, to look at the values, play around with the values and the materials to really figure out how they can use the particle system that we have, and create awesome looking particle effects for your games. Now, when it comes to textures, there are 200 different textures in the Particle Heaven package. And depending on what textures and materials you use, the same particle system can look very different. These two examples here, left and right, are actually the same, one and the same when it comes to the particle system setup, but they use two different particle materials and textures. That's why they look so different. And depending on the style of your game and or the type of the fire that you need, sometimes you simply have to change only the material to come up with the effect that you need. All the materials in the package can be changed and played around with, of course. They are only examples and suggestions of of how I would use them. But you can, of course, play around with it and come up with your own stuff. That's what the Assetstore stuff is for. And of course, to save you a lot of time and hassle for actually very little money. The package here, the initial one, took me 1.5 months to create, and it should save you a lot of time if you use it. If you've bought it, thank you so much. It really supports the stuff that I'm doing and what other guys and developers are doing when it comes to creating online assets. If you have any suggestions for upcoming updates, let me know in the comment section or in the Assetstore comment section. If you've bought it or one of my ground texture sets, then please rate it if you like it. If you don't like it, tell me about it as well, because I would like to update them then. And thanks for watching, thanks for buying, and see you next time with the next update. Bye guys, and greetings from beautiful Cape Town. Bye bye.